So we are now going to be looking at trend lines, breakouts, and flag pattern. Trend lines, breakouts, and flag patterns. So now, what are trend? I'll have to mute you, Scott. Yeah, sorry about that, but I have to mute you. Okay, so I'm going to start this again. Now, trend lines. What are trend lines? What are trend lines? Trend lines, they are another kind of support and resistance lines. They're another type of support and resistance. They are zones or areas where price turns around, or price finds resistance, or price finds support. You know, there are areas of take profit, areas of stop losses, and all of that as well. They also show you what they also are used to show you what trend the market is, what direction the market is going. Is it in the bullish? Is it a bullish market? Is it a bearish market? You know, so they are very powerful too. They're very powerful too. Now, how do you find it? If you look at this trade, okay. So again. If you look at this trade, now this is not very certain, but if you go to the higher time frame, okay, this is still, let me see. Okay, this is a bit better. Why? Because I can clearly see that this market would be in a downtrend. Yeah, in a downtrend. So probably okay, yes, in a downtrend because this. I can see that this market is in a downtrend. Take this out of the way. Now I can see that this one is a consolidation. This out of the way. This is a consolidation. It is in a ranging market. So price is ranging, and then this other one here is in an uptrend. So we have three types of markets. You have the up, the range, two type of trend. Sorry, the up range, uptrend, the ranging trend, and then the downtrend. This is an example of the type of trend. Sorry. So market can go up. Yep, it can range and it can come down. So your trend line helps you to be able to identify what situation the market is in. Is it in a range? We trade this is a good trading strategy, and then the sides as well, the up and down are also good trading strategies. Now, if I was to trade this market, what I need to wait for, what I'm looking for, you know, I'm waiting for price. Okay, touch. What I'm waiting for, okay, what am I noticing in the market? I'm noticing price going up and coming down, going up and coming down, going up and coming down, going up and coming down. What I really want to see, I think I'll just have to drag this down because that's, what time for my mind? Okay, hold on, let me see. Let me just leave it there. It's weird. Okay, so if I was to trade this pair, what would I do? How would I trade this? Very, very straightforward. It's really simple and straightforward. Once market breaks out of a range, you trade. Once market breaks out of a trend, you trade. That is your trade. If you see consolidation happening like this, market is going up and down, it's not forming new highs, it's not forming new lows, it's just, you know, in a range. Wait for it to break out of that range and then trade it. So either the upside or the downside. So let's say I entered this market at this point. This market came, I was here. You know, I entered at this point. When market goes to this point, when it gets to this point and it starts to come down, I will take my profit and wait for it to come down again. or I can decide to trade it down. And then when it gets here, I'll take my profit and wait to see if it's going to break out. If it doesn't break out and starts going up, I would enter another position for buy and wait for it to go up. Immediately gets to the upper part of the trend, I will take my profit and wait to see what it's going to do. If it breaks out, I would watch. If I decided to enter this, I probably would have lost it anyway because it probably would have retraced back. But hold on, let me see how many pips. If I was looking for 10 pips, no, I wouldn't have lost it. Well, I was taking my 10 pips and gotten out of it, you know. So it came back down. I waited to see what's going to do. It didn't come back in, so I left it. It went back up. I waited and to see what it's going to do. Then for some reason it came back in. Then when it came back in, I waited. I allowed it to come down. When it came down, I entered it. When it got to this point, I pick my profit and wait for what it's going to do. Is it going to come down? If it comes down, I'm going to trade. If it goes back up, I'm going to enter into a buy instead of a sell. So I enter a buy as well. It takes me up there. When it got there, I would take my profit and wait to see what it's going to do. If it breaks out, I'm going to wait. Am I going to trade it? If I was to trade this, I probably would have traded it. How many pips? Yeah, 17 pips. But maybe after getting my 10 pips, I'll use the stop loss, trading stop loss. And then when it retraced, will have kicked me out of the market. No loss. Then I waited for it. When it starts coming down, I trade it, bring it down. So this is pretty much what I'm doing in the market. I'm trading the up and downs. You know, when it comes down, I will trade, I will buy. When it gets up, I will sell. Comes down, I'll buy. Goes up, I will sell. Comes down, I'll buy. Goes up, I will sell. Until the market finally breaks out. It breaks out. It did what it did here. You know, so I waited. One of the key things you also want to look for in the market when you're trading a breakout is that flag thing that I haven't mentioned, or what they call the pullback. Now, if the market gets out of a zone, breaks out of the zone, what you're waiting for is for it to do a little pullback. Remember, I showed you something like that. Okay, I showed you something like that on the AU trade. It did that pullback, and then wait for it to do that pullback. This is where you enter your trade at. This is where you enter your trade at that pullback. Some people like to enter here because they don't want to lose anything, but sometimes they have enough money to do that. Their account size is able to do that, so it's fine. So even if it pulls back, they're not bothered. But I would say let it drop and let it do a pullback or form a flag. Then you enter at that point, at that area where you see a pullback. Sometimes, like I said earlier, it might get to this point. So when it pulls back, you can sell when it gets to that point, or if it pulls back a little bit and you see it start coming down. And now you have a strategy for trading flag anyway, so you always have to have your confirmation before you enter a trade. You don't just jump into a trade. Now, if this was my trade, we know the strategy for trading a flag. I draw my flagpole and my flag cloth itself, or whatever it's called, and then wait for it to come out of that, break out of that flag. That is our trade. Breaks out of that flag, then forms one extra candle as this candle is forming. I enter my position and write it down. We will get to that. That's not what I wanted to do. So I just wanted to let you get the idea, the principle behind trading breakouts. Once price breaks out of a particular zone, what you want to do, you want to wait for it to do a pullback or to form a flag or to kind of consolidate. Then you enter at that point where it's pulled back, then write it down. And where do you take your profit? The next zone. Now, very simple trick. To know what target that price would be, you can either draw a square. Draw a square, learn that from my man, Oran, and then bring it down. That is your target for that trade. So this is where your first target would be. If at all it's going to come back, you just that is your first target. Then if it's going to come back the more, then look at the next zone as well and keep dragging it down. You know. No, but for order, you do that. Come on. Either you do that, or you draw a line, measure this line, measure that line. Sorry, my mouse is very sensitive. Measure that line, and then, excuse me, that is your TP. That's your target. Sorry. Yeah, from here. So it's the same thing as drawing a box. So that is your target. Either you measure that's the size, or is it the breadth or the length between here and here is what would be your target. Now, what did you notice? The price come down to my target? Yes. Did it smash it? Yes. Where did it go to? The next target. Let me measure it again so you can see that I can't make these things up. That's my next target. Did it get there or not? Yes, it did. Smash the first target. Yep. Smash the second target. Let's see on the third one, what did it do? If it's going to do that, let's see how big. So, yeah, it's almost there. Was almost there. Close. So I would have picked up how many pips here? 132 pips. 132 times 2. That's 264 pips. And then with a little bit here, how many? 100. Yeah. So just for trading just that one pair. So that the power of one pair. So once price breaks out of a particular range, this is how you trade it. So watch for that pullback. Did you see a pullback or not on this trade? Yes, I saw a pullback. Where is it? This is the breakout. Come on, mouse. That is that breakout. And that is that pullback. Yeah? What did you see? The drop. Well, it kept doing pullbacks. Yeah, that's what to expect in the market, especially if you're looking at it on the lower time frames. You'll see a lot of this kind of consolidations, kind of moves. But like I said, market has memory. If it did it before, it's going to do it again. So just follow it. If it did that, you see pullbacks. It did that, pullbacks. Did that, pullbacks. That market doesn't just move on one direction. You've heard that every time, everywhere you go to. It will always do some ups and downs, you know, zigzag movements and what have you, till it gets to where it's going to. Because as you're entering the trade, somebody else is taking profit and everything. You have stop horns happening all over the place. So yeah, so you can see it for yourself. Break out of a trend, of a particular range. What do? You pick your profit. Now, what other thing that tends to that I have that helps you to draw a range, you know, is I have another tool that helps you to do that. This is another example of another range. If you are looking for ranges in the market, that's another example of a range as well. Just to show you that these things happen and I can't make them up. The things that happen in the market. If market did it before, it's gonna do it again. So I do have a tool that also draws a range for you. Alright. That was a false breakout. Okay. So what happened? It went up. It came up, did all of that. We're trading. You can, for some people, you can decide not to trade this range. Just wait for the breakout. So when it broke out, what did it do? Came back and retested. Even came back and retested. Came back so low. That was some bad trade. But anyway, did we take our profit on this one? Let's see if we got our profits. Did we take our profit? Did we hit our take profit? Yes. Yeah, it was a few pips short. But yeah, it got that far. I wouldn't even be waiting till it got there before taking my profit anyway. So, like I said, this is what market gives to you. I can't make it up. No. It does it. If your trading ranges, it will do what it says it's going to do. Just find that range. Look at another one here. Oh, this was a very bad one. See? That was a false breakout. It's a false breakout. Because what happened, it came in and went back in. So now look at this one. Let's look at that. Okay, so what did price do? Let me zoom out again. Price broke out of that range. It did not. Yes, it did. Broke out of that range. But what did you see it do? Broke out. And what did it do? Came back and retested that zone. And then what happened? It jumped. It jumped. You did take your profit. I'm sure you did. Even much more than. See? Now, trust me, you may not get this on your first session, but the more you practice, the more it comes to you. So you secure that bag. So even if you wanted to keep securing the bag, could have still continued securing it until you're tired of. Okay, probably this one you probably will have lost it anyway because it went up and then came back and took you out on your stop loss. But if you follow the price to do what it's doing, because it did this, went up, came back, consolidated, and did a flag here, went up, dropped. Anyways, I think it would have been better if we're trading this on a higher time frame. Then we won't be bothered about the issue with. You see, there's something wrong with I can't always go to my. Won't be bothered about the issue of the noise. Oh, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down. You know, oh, can I get out? Can I get out? You know, so just trade on the higher time frame and just work with it. This is another one here. In fact, it's a very sweet one. Does that matter? Yep, same thing happened. Just wait for it to do. I think that's even the same one. Yeah. So it did the same thing, up and down, came back, broke out, came back, did retest, and went up, did a massive jump to the upside and dropped. That probably would have been out of this market anyway. But then I would have waited for it to finish forming that flag. Remember that flag that we talked about? But I haven't shown you, for some of us that I knew, I haven't really shown you. But then look at that, went up, came back down, and then shot out, and then rode to the upside. But we'll do more of this eventually. Now, the next thing I wanted to do, let me share my screen with the other participants. Give me a second, past presenter. So, one other thing I wanted to show you that to be able to draw that. Oh, okay. I didn't call it channel. It's actually called a channel. So I can use an indicator to make that possible as well. So where is it now? So that one. So that thing I tried to draw, I was drawing for you. These things are trend lines. These things are trend lines. Let me look at them on the 4-hour. Anything? Because it actually, what it does as well is that it's very dynamic. It moves with the market. It changes to pick up what the market is doing. You know. So if you were trading this, we're trading this and it comes, you would wait for this, it has broken out, so wait for it to come back and retest it, then you can ride it to the upside. Now let's look at it on the 30 minutes. It works on every time frame. Okay, this is just a very, very bullish market, so I will leave that one. Look for another one. Look for another one. Let me see which other one is there. Chef. I have something happening there. Oh, this is almost at our TP. Oh, whoa, it's almost at our TP. For those of you that are still in G, well, I'm still in GU. It's almost at our TP. Now let me see channel for this one. Okay, so now the same principle applies to, like I talked about, same principle. If it goes up, you trade on the upside. Is you sell there. It comes down. When it comes to the downside, you buy. It goes up. You sell here. But there are different strategies that you use to trade the markets. You don't have to trade this. You don't have to. If you're not very comfortable with trading channels, you can trade flags, which is the simplest of them. I'm going to teach that one probably next week, or if I have time on Friday when I'm teaching the other the advanced guys. You know, if I have time, I'm going to touch on it as well. But if you're more comfortable with the flag pattern, you know, then stick to that. You don't have to trade the channel. And if you're more comfortable with only using support and resistance lines, trading every zone, every support and resistance zone, you just stick to it. But the idea why we do this, why I train you on everything, is just so you know, you see what is available to decide which one works for you. We have different personalities. Some of us are very, like it when it's complicated. Some of us just don't like, you know, when things are too complicated. We just want to pick the simple stuff. Yep. So that's why I like flag. Flag is really, really simple. Just go in there, wait for that flag to form. You know, wait for any other pattern. There are flags. There is the head and shoulders. There's a double bottoms. You know, those patterns in the market. You can see them. They are there in the market. You know. So you can see them and trade them. So if this is not your person, you don't need to learn it. You know, if Fibonacci is not your person, you don't need to learn it. I'm going to teach Fibonacci as well. Moving average is not your person, you don't need to learn it. I teach that as well. One thing I don't use is this stochastic, they call it. I don't use stochastic. I've tried to use it, you know, but it's not really my, you know, I don't really like it, isn't it? Another one, I don't use the MACD as well. I see it as an instrument that lags. Price will have moved before it sees anything. You know, so I don't use too many indicators. So I just stick to naked forex, which is what we train here. So all you need to do is just look at the chart, look at what it did before. Because if it did that before, it's gonna do it again. Look for where pullbacks are, look for where reversals are, and then you're good to go. That's really all there is to the market. You know, and then since we're here together, whatever you find in the market, you can send it to the group. We can all look at it together. Or when we send something in the market, we're all trading together anyway, so nobody's left behind. You know, so it's all about group learning. And also, does anyone have any questions on channel? I'm going to send this one as well. So all you need to do is just to drag it and drop it, and it will form trend lines for you based on where the market is currently. If I drag this here too, it will do the same thing. It's called a channel. MT4 already has that, but this one just does it for you automatically. You know, this is it. So all it needs to do is just you trade. When it goes up, you buy. Yes, you sell. When it comes down, you sell for you to go back. Or when it gets to here, you take your profit, put in a buy. Like now, it is in a sell zone, so we believe that it's going to come down. You know, so you might put a sell here. You know, because already if you look at it, it's forming a flag here, it's forming a reverse. What's it called now? Sorry, the pullback. So definitely it's going to come down. So look at what it's done. It's done before. It's probably going to do it again. You know, so that's one other strategy. But like I said, it's open to everyone. Anyone can use any other strategy. So do you have any question? Oh, sorry. I must have muted you, Scott. Had a bit of background noise earlier. Um, Chinelo, Fumi, Scott, anyone has a question?
I'm good.
Okay, okay. Chinelo, Fumi, anyone else? No. Okay. All right. So what I want you to do for me, Scott, what I want you to do now, I'm gonna post these videos. I'm gonna get them processed and send it to everyone. So you can go back and watch it again and pick on whatever questions that you might have as you watch it. But I will need you to do me something. You need to do a homework for me. And by homework, I mean all of the things that we looked at today. I need you to be able to identify support and resistance zones for me before you start using this Trevor's chart indicator. Just identify, go to a particular chart, pick up any chart that you feel, you know,
Okay.
and draw out support and resistance for me from the daily time frame down to the 1 hour time frame. Then when you do that for that one, do a screenshot and send it to the group. You can do it for 2 pairs between now and next week. Just do it for 2 pairs or as many as you choose to do. Do that. Let me see if you really understand that principle. Let me see where you would identify your own support and resistance. Remember what I said, that we all have different places, different areas, but it has to be in the same zone. So just do that for me. Then after you've done that, I also want you, because I'm going to send you the indicators as well. I want you to use the Trevor and for another chart as well, 2 or 3 charts. Let me also see that one. Then also for the channel, before channel, trend lines, draw trend lines on different pairs that you have. Probably, if you want to do it on the ones that have happened before, you can do that. Go back in time and look for pairs that you can probably draw this. Like for instance, I can see this as an uptrend. I can see this as a consolidation. Why? Because market is moving sideways. As it's in a range or it's in a consolidation. Okay, that's probably most breakout. Market is moving sideways. That's out of false breakers too. So good to be true. So yeah. See what just happened there? Market is moving sideways. Then I can see an uptrend happening here. Yep. So just that's what you want to see in the market for me. Just look for where you have and draw them like this. This is a good uptrend. So you draw your trend lines. When the trend line is under, it is under, meaning the market is really. Is it a bullish market? Oh yeah, I think this is hold on. It's supposed to be a bearish market, not a bullish market. Bullish market, sorry, not a bearish market. So you can do that. Or one other thing you can also do is this for me. You can draw the two at the same time. That's also acceptable. That still shows that the market is in an uptrend, which other one. So any pair you pick at all works for me. Any pair you pick.
I'll pick out a couple pairs that I've already traded. I'll go back and set the trend lines in.
Absolutely.
That'll be easy.
All right.
Okay, and do you want me to do that for all the time windows? One day, the 4 hour.
Yeah. Just
for
do
the
that.
1 day.
For the trend lines and the ranges and consolidation, you can do it anyhow you want it. But for the support and resistance, I want it to start from the daily, go to the 4 hour chart, and then go to the 1 hour chart. Let me say that for 2 or 3 different pairs. Then post it on the platform. Then I will look at it and probably give you look at if it's in line with what where I found my own support and resistance. Then I'll let you know. And if it's not, then I would also make some corrections as well. Yeah. Okay. Then when you're free, even before we meet on Friday, if you're free within the day, today's still Monday, I presume, we can meet again. We can have a one-on-one with you.
That's fine. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, then we can treat a couple of items, some things that you might have questions in, and we'll do it together.
Sounds good.
Thanks. All right. So thank you.
Sir.
No worries at all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Fumi. Thank you, Chinelo. Thank you, everyone. To have a fantastic night. I'm still trading. Tomorrow we have Dr. Kathy. I'll be with her as well. That if anything, if I find something in the market that's good for everyone, I'm going to send it to the platform and give us a signal so we can trade. And yeah, have a good trading day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Fumi. Good night, Chinelo. Hope they're still on the call.
Okay, good night, Mike.
Good night. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.